Why you need to embrace the ancient warrior within you. Hello everyone, and welcome to Male Wisdom. In this video, I want to discuss an important topic, the masculine warrior. Many people shy away from this side of themselves, but I believe that if we learn to embrace it, we can achieve great things. So stick around, and let me explain why you need to start tapping into your inner warrior. Before we begin, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. A man should be capable of posing a threat. I understand that this channel is geared toward spirituality and mental strength, but because we are in the world of a man playing this game of life, man must have this warrior side ready to resist the onslaught of life at any given moment. Men in positions of authority have a lot of responsibility. They must be completely prepared for every situation that might arise. This means knowing all the facts, being up to date on current events, and being able to think on their feet. It also means being able to make tough decisions quickly and confidently. Some people are born leaders, but even the most natural-born leader can benefit from some preparation. Taking the time to learn as much as possible and develop a clear set of values will help any man be a better leader. The world is constantly changing, and men in positions of authority must be prepared to face new challenges. They must be able to think on their feet and make decisions quickly. They must also be able to stand up for what they believe in and take decisive action when necessary. Above all, they must maintain a head and remain calm under pressure. These qualities define a successful leader, and men in authority must possess them. Only by being thoroughly prepared can they hope to meet the demands of their position and effectively lead those under their charge. You can't even rise to power if you're not powerful and capable of frightening others. A powerful man is not simply physically strong but spiritually and mentally strong. On the other hand, a weak man may be physically strong but lack the strength of character to use his power for good. A spiritual being is not constrained by the body's limitations but can harness great force. The game of life is a test of our spiritual strength. It is a journey in which we evolve and grow in understanding who we are and what we are capable of. We are constantly challenged to step outside our comfort zones and face difficult situations. The more we do this, the stronger we become. The body may break down, but the spirit is eternal. Therefore, we must cultivate our spirituality to become powerful beings. When we harness our spiritual strength, we can overcome any obstacle and accomplish anything we set our minds. A man with inner power is a force to be reckoned with. He is unbreakable and unafraid, and the world creates space for him. With inner power comes outside power, and a man who wields both is a true leader. Men have always been drawn to power, and their desire to attain it has driven them to heights. In order to rise to power, a man must first develop his warrior side. This does not mean that he must be physically strong, but rather that he must be mentally and emotionally resilient. He must be able to withstand any trial and conquer any obstacle. Only then will he be able to achieve true greatness. Thus, a man must develop his warrior side if he wants to rise to power. Inner power is by far the most dangerous force on the planet, and a man who has mastered it is a true leader. Though it may not seem like it, the fact is that everyone is playing a game in which there are only losers and winners, and in order to win, one must follow the rules set by those in power. For millennia, males have held power in this game and used it to their advantage. They have written the rules, set the goals, and determined the rewards. As a result, they have achieved a level of power and privilege unrivaled in history. But what does it really mean to be a winner in this game? Is it simply a matter of amassing more wealth and influence than others? Or is there something more to it? Warrior masculinity is one way that males have achieved power, based on the notion that there is only one way to achieve success in life. That is, by mastering the art of violence. This form of masculinity places great emphasis on physical strength and aggression, and those who adhere to it often view conflict as the only way to resolve disputes. While warrior masculinity has certainly been a successful strategy for some individuals, it is not the only way to achieve power. Other approaches can be just as effective, if not more so. So why do so many males continue to cling to this outdated form of masculinity? The answer may lie in our biology. Studies have shown that testosterone, the hormone responsible for male characteristics such as facial hair and deep voices, also plays a role in aggression and risk-taking behavior. In other words, males may be hardwired to seek power through violence. But whether we like it or not, we all must play the game. The question is, how will you play it? In order to take on the world, you must be threatening. This may seem counterintuitive, but it is the only way to get what you want. People respond to threats, and if you can make yourself into a threat, you will be able to get what you want. However, it is important to be cautious when experimenting with your shadow. The shadow is a dark force, and it can consume you if you are not careful. Only wise men can control the shadow without going insane. If you are not careful, the shadow will destroy you. Therefore, you must be very careful when experimenting with your shadow. Otherwise, you will be consumed by the darkness. If they do not come to power, history will be filled with men who ruined the lives of the masses when they ascended to power solely due to their inability to command control over their shadow. Because a spiritual man loses interest in gaining this world, you must play with your shadow. This is why you want power in this world. We might as well go all out while we're here on this planet playing this game. Men are not born warriors. It is something that must be taught and nurtured. The first step is to train the mind. A warrior must be disciplined and focused. He must be able to control his emotions and think clearly in the heat of battle. The second step is to train the body physically. A warrior must be strong and agile. He must be able to endure pain and hardship. The third step is to set a goal for the warrior within. A warrior must have something to fight for. He must have a reason to pick up his sword and shield and face his enemies. Only when these three steps are taken will a man be able to fully excel as a warrior. This concept is difficult to grasp in today's world because we have grown accustomed to it. Life is easier now than it was a century ago. Men had to be men to get through, but make no mistake, you still have to cultivate this side now. If you want power in this world, look to the warrior. It is up to you to defend something when it comes to masculinity. In the past, it was man's family, his nation, his country, and so on, and if you were on the other side, the dark side, it was to obtain power and serve the ego. It is now up to you whether you want to defend or go on the defensive, but you will need something difficult to bring out. When the warrior's comfortable life is cut short, he is born in the worst conditions. Usually, when males are at their lowest, they can cling to it and compel it to come out. It's like discovering a hidden power that can break down any barrier, but only a man with a manly outlook on his life will be able to achieve it. The emasculation of society has rendered this aspect of man obsolete, but a few chosen men will always have this side. It cannot be destroyed because as long as we play this game of life, power, struggle, and only men with their shadow or warrior side will continue to rise to authority until every single man has transcended from his human side to divine consciousness. From the dawn of time, man has had to contend with the shadow. This is the darker side of our nature, the part that is chaotic and destructive. Throughout history, wars have been fought, and lives have been lost in an attempt to tame the shadow. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to embrace the shadow and harness its power. However, this is not possible without first cultivating warrior masculinity. The warrior masculine is the inner strength that allows us to face the shadow. It is a choice between being trampled or rising to the occasion. To be a warrior is to know that you are a man, that you are unbreakable, and that everything you desire is yours. You cannot be denied. The salvation of this mortal aspect of man is in this inner power. We require it as we strive for higher levels of consciousness. So make the choice today to cultivate your warrior masculinity. Embrace your shadow and rise to the challenge. This mentality is what rescues men from the depths of hell, but only a few are capable of doing so because the majority lack this perspective. You will never be buried as long as you have your manhood to fall back on. Therefore, create this eye to fall back on when all hell breaks loose and utilize it to acquire authority in this world if you so wish. It is up to you as we progress spiritually. We understand that we may have what we want with ease, but there are moments when we will be caught off guard, and this aspect of you will save you. If the warrior is highly trained, he will take the hit. An example could be a battle or a situation more significant than you. That is when you have no choice but to let the warrior out. Therefore, cultivate the side of this world of mortals. You will undoubtedly need it. In life, we always downfalls and weaknesses. We all have drawbacks that can keep us from becoming the men we want to be. But I made a video showing you 11 powerful techniques to help you overcome any weakness and become a more masculine man. So sit back, relax, and check that video out. If you find this video helpful, it will also increase your knowledge of masculinity and how to use it to your advantage.